The first thing I did before I was reborn, it is to spend millions of dollars to buy a 660-ton car. Just because the cosmic radiation of mechanical fire covers the world, vehicles under everyone's name will all become human exoskeleton mechas. Some people have Ferrari sports cars turned into agile mecha assassins. Some people turn into invincible meat shield mechas. Some people turn into long-range mage mecha in concrete cars. And the transformation rules follow the conservation of quality. As long as the vehicle is bigger, heavier, and stronger, then the transformed mecha will be stronger. However, in my previous life, I was poor. There is only a shared bicycle that has not been returned by scanning the code. He was trampled to death by a passing mechanical beast as an ant on the side of the road. I woke up from the bed, immediately turned on the phone and cash out like crazy. Now there are only 7 days until the end of the world. I have to be within 7 days. Create an invincible steel behemoth. After a night of struggle, I have a cold 5 million lying in my account. There is no way to take the public exam again in this life. The next day, I came to the heavy industry machinery trade zone. He spent 3.8 million to buy the 660-ton car. You must know the mechanical beast in the previous life. It's only about 500 tons. However, this body alone is not enough. I drove this steel beast to the black market modification factory, ordered silently, next at the impact angle. Welded steel bar guard net, transformed the front of the car into a mobile arsenal. I want everyone to fear my mech. When my car was parked at the door of the hangar repair shop, everyone was taken aback. Bang Dalai, the hangar mechanic, looking at the steel giant beast, he spoke. You're on the wrong track. This is a car repair shop, not an open pit. This thing cracked the foundation of my house. I took out a blue drawing from my pocket and spoke. I don't do maintenance, only modify. 500 zero manual costs and material costs are calculated separately. Hearing this, Wang Dalai's breathing instantly became heavy. Deal, brothers, don't sleep, get me up. It's a big job. At this moment, a piercing roar of the engine came. Getting out of the car was the rich second-generation Jason. In his previous life, he relied on his sports car, muted it into an agile mecha. It took my only food. He also put me in the mechanical pile and left me to fend for myself. On weekdays, when I have nothing to do, I ridicule me for being a stinky takeaway. Hide, shared waste. As soon as Jason got out of the car, he saw me standing aside. Isn't this the Dragon Valley that loves to deliver food? If you have a car, you stay here. Don't tell me that the rack at the door is yours. If it's really yours, and remove the racks. Don't block Master Ben's car from entering the elevator. I ignored it. There is no need to argue with someone who will die in a few days. In order to meet the deadline, I spent an extra 200 yuan as overtime pay. The front of the car is equipped with a triangular impact angle. The windows were sealed with steel mesh. Only a few observation seams remain. The tires are equipped with thick explosion-proof steel chain mesh. The interior of the body is made into a safe house. It is divided into storage areas and rest areas. In the early morning of the 3rd day, my Fortress Tyrant prototype is complete, but the last piece of the puzzle is still missing to perfect. I drive this Fortress Tyrant, head straight to the largest logistics warehouse. A full 300 tons of diesel fuel were stored in the car. Countless supplies were bought and stored in the car. Until the last 24 hours of the end times, everyone felt something was wrong. The sky took on an eerie grey-yellow color, a high-dimensional energy wave. Mechanical tinder is approaching the Earth. I drove the Fortress Tyrant slowly towards a dead end. The terrain here is extremely high. Broad vision. You can attack and retreat or defend. And, most importantly, there are few people and few cars here. The first wave of the end times. Not from the automa, but vehicles from the human side. When there is a traffic jam during the evening rush hour, caused by the simultaneous mutation of thousands of cars, is the real hell on Earth. I parked the huge mining truck at the end of the broken bridge. The front of the car can rush down at any time, quietly, waiting for the arrival of the mutation time. As a purple shock wave passed through the sky, the whole world is at this moment. A metallic roar was emitted, and the black behemoth on the broken bridge also completed its mutation. The system self-check is complete. The S-Class Mecha Fortress Tyrant is waiting for your dispatch. A smile appeared on the corner of my mouth. Push down the gear lever suddenly. Hyoga Black. The body started with a bang towards that hellish crossroads on Earth, rushed down. Immediately after walking, I tried to connect with consciousness, manipulate the actions of the Fortress Tyrant through consciousness. At this point, a red dot appeared on the radar. A mutated bus noticed me, and that double-decker bus. It became the appearance of a steel centipede, rushing frantically towards me along the slope. A large mecha in the early stages of mutation will instinctively prey on other mechas, evolve by devouring each other's metal cores. Instead of hitting hitting the brakes, I didn't hit the brakes. Instead, he pulled the throttle and rushed straight over. When the bus centipede hit the front of my bus, the powerful inertial impact caused him to fly backwards in an instant, fell to the ground. I piloted the Fortress Tyrant, ruthlessly crushed on the bus body. System prompt, in the next second. Kill a level 1. Mutant bus type. Gain 50 to metal origin. I muttered to myself, it's really weak. I'll go see my old friend. I consciously control the Fortress Tyrant, heading towards the city center. There was an old friend party there, and at the crossroads, it has a humanoid mecha, about 4 meters long. That was Jason, who was driving a supercar before. Characteristics of supercar, mecha are, you can obtain a complete humanoid structure in the early stages. Jason's arrogant voice passed. The mecha amplification resounded through the intersection. Strength. This is power. Use scrap. Copper and rotten iron are all garbage. One by one, they are as slow as turtles. At this moment, Jason's vanity swelled to the extreme. He suddenly remembered me. I looked around and planned to look for my black figure. At this moment, a huge black shadow appeared in the distance. Jason looked at the huge black shadow with a shocked expression. It was the poor car. No way! Such a big lump of iron. How can it move? Jealousy and fear instantly marinated his reason. I'm going to tear you down. Pick up your scrap metal and sell it as scrap. Jason controlled the red lightning bolt towards me. Less than 2 seconds. He crossed a distance of 100 meters. Carbon fiber. High-frequency vibrating blade in hand, pointing straight at one of my tires. However, a knife went down. Jason's blade was broken by a tire, and huge reaction force. At his arm burst instantly. Saying this, I control the fortress. Use the tire to run directly over the red lightning. The next second, the red scrap metal was directly embedded in the ground. Here comes a thin red specimen. Immediately after the system prompt, kill the Tier 1 Mutant Sports Car series. Obtain a rare speed mod fragment. Just as I crushed the red lightning, 3 mechanical beasts swooped down from the clouds in the sky. The cement floor also suddenly cracked. Drill out a terrain species. I reached for and pressed the red button on the console, accompanied by the roar of the hydraulic system. The camouflage canvas at the rear of the body was suddenly lifted. The twin 30mm automaton turret below is exposed. I licked my lips. Was a crazy fighting spirit burning in his eyes. Come on, let's all go up together. Let you see it. What is caliber is justice. When the twin batteries are equipped with 30mm cannons, when the motor starts to warm up and rotate, the air was filled with a burning smell of electricity. The 3 mechanical beasts in the sky are clearly underestimated. The anti-air capability of this lump of black steel on the ground. They retracted their blade like wings. Finished word line swoops down. The acid chamber in the abdomen opens. The green corrosive liquid is ready to go. I was sitting in a cab, 3 red crosshairs, sighting the target in the air. Then he gently pulled the red trigger. 2 tongues of fire up to 100 meters long instantly gushed out from the back of the car bed. The first mechanical beast to rush to the front. He didn't even have time to make evasive moves. Exploded in the sky directly by shell bombardment. Countless burning fragments fell like a rain of fire, smashed on abandoned vehicles around it. It sizzled, followed by for sale. I pushed the joystick to keep aiming. The remaining mechanical beasts sensed the mortal danger, screaming in horror trying to escape from the height. But the speed of rotation of the cannon, far faster than their flying speed. The tail of the second mechanical beast was swept away. Entire lower body disappeared directly. Losing his balance, he was like a kite with a broken thread, spinning, planted in the glass curtain wall of an office building. The third mechanical beast just opened the acid in its abdomen, wants to attack, thus bombarded by a barrage of shells, exploded in the air, along with acid. I took a deep breath of the pungent smell of gunpowder. Is there a stronger enemy? It can give me a taste of defeat. As soon as I finished speaking, there was a loud noise from under my car. The entire 660-ton body. It shook slightly. The asphalt on the ground arches like waves. The mutated terrain type heavy excavator launched an attack, breaking the ground from my side. That steel giant mouth, it bit the left rear wheel of the fortress. Sharp teeth of the excavator got stuck in the gaps in the chainmail. It is impossible to move forward anymore inchly. The excavator ignores the tonnage gap, even if he frantically contracts the hydraulic arm to pry the fortress. But the fortress tyrant remained unmoved. I was sitting in the car, manipulating the joystick and sneering. Let you see, what is industrial crushing? Full power reverse. The engine was angry with huge wheels, shafts turning backwards. The excavator mutant beast that bit the tire and kept going, forcibly pressed into the ground. Just 5 seconds, the ground type is embedded in the ground. Immediately after the system prompt, kill the secondary mutant engineering department. Obtain the high-strength alloy source. 8200 mt. The core is automatically absorbed. I stopped the car, shift back to forward gear. A dent up to half a meter deep was left on the road surface. A pile of metal waste residue that cannot be distinguished from its original appearance. Sitting in the car, I shook my head. It's still too boring. This world can shake me. Only something heavier. But not yet. It's hard for me to taste it. The battle ends at the crossroads. Fell into a dead silence. The low-level mutant car that was still running around the street just now. At this moment, they were all lying on the ground, shivering. I didn't go after those miscellaneous fish. My eyes looked at those, the remains of a slain mechanical beast. Killing is not the end in the last days. Resources are the purpose of competition. I press a button. Several flexible mechanical tentacles protrude from the sides of the body. This is the maintenance arm I added to the modification shop. Now, he has become the best scavenger. The robotic arm is accurately inserted into the scrap iron of the excavator. Took out a core crystal that emitted blue light. Immediately followed by the flattened Ferrari speed mod core. I control the fortress and devour those cores. Soon there was a warm current from the body. Absorption is successful. Armor strength increased by 0.5. Obtain skill fragments. Instantaneous acceleration. 10 tablets are required to unlock. Then the roar sounded again. The black behemoth ran over the wreckage all over the ground, heading towards the logistics park on the edge of the city, on the national highway leading to the logistics park. A strange picture appeared. Front. It is a black mine giant car that covers the sky. Scrapped vehicles that will be clogged along the way. The wandering low-level zombie car crashed away mercilessly. Born in ruins. A wide avenue was sorted out, and about 200 meters behind him, carefully follow a small convoy. 3 private cars, a small van, and in the cab, I had already spotted a convoy behind me through the radar, but I didn't drive them away. In the early days of the end times, the situation can be quickly judged, and the person who makes this kind of fox, fake tiger power choice, usually live a little longer. And there was several cannon fodder in the back. It can also act as an alarm. The convoy reached a bridge. This is the only way out of the city, but at this moment, the bridgehead is blocked. A dozen pickups and off-road vehicles with rough modifications, lying in the middle of the road. A simple line of defense was built with the body. There were a few hands standing on the roof of the car, man with shotgun and fire axe. One by one, they are fierce and vicious. Just hours after the outbreak of the apocalypse, the evil of human nature has already begun to breed. They occupy the main transportation routes, not to stop zombies, but to plunder the same kind of fleeing. Parking for me, a bald man in the lead, standing on the roof of a Range Rover, waving a red signal flag. In their opinion, any car that wants to get out of town, you have to leave tolls. A few cars behind me were visibly freaked out. Some even want to make a U-turn. Saying this, my speed not only did not decrease, instead, it is a notch higher, rushed over. That huge black body cast huge shadows in the sun, quickly covered the entire barricade area. The bald man's original expression froze as the distance closes. Finally saw clearly what was rushing over. On fast, the bald man let out a scream that changed his tone, dropping the flag and wanting to get into the Land Rover. But his men's reaction was half a beat slower. Someone also subconsciously raised a shotgun. A shot was fired at the tire of the mining truck. Shot directly pronounced their death sentence. I control the mining card. That huge V-shaped impact angle. It hit the pile of pickup trucks abruptly. A barricade made up of off-road vehicles. The bald man hadn't had time to get into the car yet. It was directly blown away by the huge shock wave. Fell on the guardrail next to him and fainted. Just 3 seconds, all the barricades disappeared. The surrounding circle is full of car wreckage. I didn't even look at them. Straight ahead of the fortress, Tyrant went up to the bridgeage. I also took those car cores with me before leaving. Not long after my car came to a square in a service area. Parking and tidying core, by the way, deal with the tail at the back. As my car stopped, the car following behind also stopped quickly, but I don't dare to get too close. It stopped 30 meters away. The car door opened for several people. Chan shed his head and walked down. I go through the system of Fortress Tyrant. They scan their physical condition. After confirming that there is no risk and no harm, I put on the technical clothes of the Tyrant's production capacity, took a pistol, and got out of the car. I glanced at the 4 people in front of me. Zaid coldly. I followed all the way. Settle the gas bill. The middle-aged man quickly spoke tremblingly. Not immortal. Thank you for opening the way. We have no ill intentions. There is water and food in the car. Just ask us to follow. I raised my eyebrows and the corners of my mouth curled up with a touch of mockery. Follow me. Can you keep up? We desperately keep up. I know you're going to build a camp. I am a mechanical college student. He will repair the car. I work. The middle-aged man took out his ID. I'm a doctor. Surgeon, I can handle all kinds of trauma. Please take us with you. In such an apocalyptic world, you definitely need me. All of a sudden, the mechanics, doctors, and logistics were all in place. I thought for a moment. Some trivial matters do need to be handled by man. For example, washing bloodstains on the car. Or keeping vigil. My energy alone is limited. Thinking of this, I put away the pistol in my hand. I don't support idle people. If you want to follow, don't be left behind. Stay 100 meters away from my car. If you dare to cross the line, those barricades just now are your end. After that, I returned to the control room of the fortress Tyrant, but he didn't start the car right away. Sitting in the cab, I closed my eyes and thought, Jason is dead. Roadhog cleared. The younger brother also accepted it. The first day ended perfectly. Next, go get the reactor components. I pulled out a crumpled map from my arms. Finger on a red circle mark. It was a bomb shelter located under the city. The legendary military material reserve. There is my next stage of evolution. Evolution of the necessary reactor components. Not long after, my convoy came to the entrance of the air raid shelter in the western suburbs. The mechanical girl named Susu jumped out of the car, toolbox in hand, stand next to the tire and shout, "Top dog, this door is hydraulically driven. The electronic lock is broken. I can try shorting the backup power, or find a manual pressure relief valve." I said through the loudspeaker, "That's too slow. Time is life. In the face of absolute quality, there's nothing you can't hit." After saying that Susu could only hold the toolbox, quickly return to the safe zone. I control the Fortnite Tyrant to modify the front-end collision angle. The mining card let out a low roar, stepped back 50 meters, then accelerate the fullness. Hit the gate of the bomb shelter. The gate collapsed with a stiff impact. I stepped on the accelerator, rolled over the wreckage of the gate, into the dark underground tunnels. Then my radar suddenly appeared, a dense red dot. Although there are no zombies here, but there is something more troublesome. As a military-restricted area, a large number of automated defense systems are deployed here, under the radiation of mechanical tender. These originally rigid machines have also mutated. At the top of the tunnel ahead, several upside-down automatic sentry guns suddenly turned the muzzle. Their infrared sensors locked on to the intruder. Dense tons of fire gushed out instantly. Machine gun bullets rained down, hit the frontal armor of the mining card. If it is a normal vehicle, at this moment, it has been beaten into a sieve. But in Fortress, in front of the marine steel plate tens of millimeters thick, these bullets can only leave shallow white spots. It didn't use the precious 30mm cannon. Instead, the secondary weapon system on the roof was opened. A double-barreled high-pressure water cannon. It's just that the water tank is not filled with water now. It was the waste engine oil he brought from the gas station. 2 black oil columns. Spray at those sentry cannons like a viper. Then a flare hit over. The flames instantly engulfed the entire ceiling. Under the scorching heat of the fire, their ammunition box exploded. A series of explosions echoed through the tunnel. Several parts of the small armored cannon were blown around, fell from the ceiling. It turned into a pile of scrap metal. I go through the megaphone. He spoke to the convoy behind him. "Give you 5 minutes to clean the battlefield. Bring everything you can. It will be useful for repairing cars in the future." The sentence made Susu's eyes light up. She immediately jumped out of the car. With a few people started a frenzy of disassembling parts, so that's one of the reasons I brought them. Go through a long tunnel. We finally came to the deepest main reservoir area. Rows of huge shelves. It was piled up with dark green wooden boxes, firearms, ammunition, military rations, and body armor. This is simply the treasure trove of Baba Ali in the last days. All the survivors went crazy, even the doctor, who has always been very calm. At this moment, his hands were shaking while holding a box of first-aid medicine. But I'm not interested in these. His eyes were fixed on the center of the reservoir area, the independent secret room, wrapped in heavy lead plates. There are bright red radiation warning signs there. In this secret room, it stores the backup energy core of this base. Micro-fission battery packs. This is to be after the outbreak of nuclear war. Black technology that can still maintain the operation of the base for 50 years. It is also the key to the evolution of the Fortress Tyrant. You are moving supplies outside. Fill all the cars. Leave the rest alone. I gave the order. Everyone nodded quickly, then began to collect supplies. This time I didn't open the fortress to break through. Instead, he jumped out of the car and came to the lead door. Because of this door, both valves need to be turned at the same time to open. I called Susu to turn with me. The door has been sealed for decades, slowly opened under the combined force of the two. A dark blue light came out from the crack in the door. The center of the secret room, a cylindrical transparent container stands up. There are 3 suspended in the container, a metal rod that emits a faint blue light. Even through protective clothing, I can feel that too. Palpitating energy fluctuations. In the last days, energy is divided into 3 levels. Level 1 is fossil energy, low efficiency, high noise, and non-renewable. 2 is electrochemical energy, quiet but limited battery life. Level 3 is nuclear energy, and high-dimensional energy, unlimited battery life. It can also drive energy shields and beam weapons. The current Fortress Tyrant, it is still at level 1, and these 3 sticks are the key to level 3. I didn't hesitate to see this. I got back in the car and controlled the robotic arm. Carefully put the 3 fuel rods into the car. Immediately after that, the Fortress Tyrant, who absorbed the energy. A terrifying suction erupted in the body. System warning. High energy reactor components detected. Energy density exceeds the standard. Forced assimilation is underway. The body began to tremble violently under the heavy black armor plates. It was as if there were blue blood vessels pulsating. I was holding my head in the cab, let out a painful roar. As a host, I also suffered a huge energy shock. Not long after a prompt came from the system. Assimilation completed. The energy system is upgraded to a mini nuclear fission drive. Unlocks the new ability deflection stance shield and overload impacts. At the same time I finished my evolution. In the hall outside, suddenly there was a scream of horror. Help me, boss, help. It was the doctor's voice. I suddenly opened my eyes. Reverse and rush out of the secret room. I saw the reservoir hole outside. This moment it has become a surer field. I don't know when. The tunnel entrance when I originally entered. It has been blocked. Countless mechanical rats the size of domestic cats. Like a tide. Drain from ventilation ducts. Even gushing out from the cracks in the walls. Although small, but there are thousands of them, and in the center of these rat colonies, it is a behemoth. It was a mutated garbage truck. Its body turns into a huge breeding nest. A steady stream of new mechanical rats are spitting out. He had countless compound eyes on the front of his car. Foul-smelling green poisonous gas. At this moment, Susu and the doctor and others were cornered. The few rifles they had just picked up in their hands. It can't stop this overwhelming tide of rats at all. Several mechanical rats have jumped on Susu's body. The sharp gear was about to cut through her neck. I immediately activated the partial field shield. A translucent blue light curtain instantly burst and spread around the mining card. When the light curtain swept over those mechanical rats, circuit board inside the mechanical mouse was burned directly. Blue smoke came out of the body. It fell to the ground with a bang. It has become a pile of scrap copper and scrap metal. The few mice on Susu's body also fell stiffly. She survived the disaster, paralyzed on the ground, staring at the giant car, emitting divine blue light, and the Rat King was obviously enraged. He let out a piercing roar. The bucket of the car suddenly opened. It spews out a burst of green corrosive venom. Bait to the mining card. Venom splashed on the blue standing shield. Made a sizzling sound. Then it was instantly evaporated. Not even the car paint was stained. This is the dimensionality reduction strike between levels. I immediately injected the obtained nuclear energy into the power system. Initiate an overload impact. 660 tons of behemoths. Reaches a speed of 100 kilometers per hour in 2 seconds. Shaped impact angle of the mining truck. Wrapped in a blue energy storm. It crashed into the arms of the Rat King before the Rat King could make a sound. His core was directly shattered. Immediately after the system prompt, kill the level 3 mutant scavenger type. Get the biodegradable mod. At this moment, only the corpse of a mechanical rat was left in the hall. I drove the Fortress Tyrant back to Susu. He said lightly, pack the supplies. Don't waste time. Stop. We are going to hunt the big guys. In this deep underground, I have completed one of the most critical transformations in the last days. When the black behemoth re-emerges from the dugout, it was already dusk in the outside world. I looked at their convoy. Get out of the car and let them get out of my car. Take out the steel cable that holds the tank. Connect all their cars in series. Hang behind me. After 10 minutes, a strange convoy took shape. At the forefront is the Fortress Tyrant emitting blue light. Van Arsenal was dragged tightly behind. In the back are 3 private cars. I commanded everyone to get on the bus. Roll up all the windows. Whatever you hear, don't poke your head. We're going to get on the highway. On the highway around the city, several abandoned cars were blocked on the road. I control the Fortress Tyrant all the way to the level. Survivors sitting in the back and being dragged away. Look through the window at the wreckage on both sides. Feel the violent vibration coming from the body. My heart was full of shock. The radar in front of me at this time. Suddenly a dense red dot appeared, not on the ground, but in the air. It was a group of mutant gargoyle drones. This is a type of drone used by civilian aerial photography drones and birds of prey. Mutated and fused monsters. Their propellers turned into sharp, bony rotors. The camera turned into a red compound eye. Under the fuselage was mounted miniature bombs, or A sharp grappling hook. The number is at least 500. I immediately turned on the nuclear shield to protect it. Countless miniature bombs fell. Smash on the blue light curtain ball. Exploded into blue ripples. But it didn't cause any harm. I pressed the button again to open the machine turret. At the same time, the armor plates on both sides of the body turned over. 2 rows of dense arrays of 12-tube metal storms were exposed. 12-tuber metal storm proximity system. 30-minute cannon. Responsible for bombarding larger leading drones. Every shell can blow up a gargoyle drone in the air, and the metal storm on both sides. It sprayed out a barrage of tens of thousands of rounds per minute. Lightning bullets in the air, intertwined into an airtight web of fire. Those swarms of drones that swooped down. It was like hitting a wall of fire. There was a rain of metal in the sky. Countless burning parts. Broken rotor. Broken footage. It smashed on the blue shield like dumplings. Slipped to the side of the road. Finally, spread out in batches. A huge shadow slowly descended from the depths of the clouds. This is an iron-winged griffin. It was carried out by a helicopter gunship, a monster formed by fusing with an eagle. The wingspan is more than 20 meters. The original rotor became a huge wing. Under the nose, it carries real aviation cannons and rocket nests. It lands on the gantry of the viaduct in front. The huge claws grip deep into the concrete beam. Those electronic eyes that emitted red light, staring at my mining card. Then the Griffin Lord fired 2 rockets directly at me. Rockets bombarded the shield. The blue light curtain trembled violently. The alarm sounded loudly. It's the... Shield energy reduced to 70. High energy strikes were detected. Seeing this, I narrowed my eyes. It's a bit... interesting. Finally, there is someone who can break the defense. The one in the back sat firmly. I slammed the steering wheel. The mining car did not slow down. Instead, it takes advantage of the downhill momentum. Accelerated to the gantry. The Griffin Lord is preparing to fire a second round of rockets. That's when I pressed the button for the overload impact. This time, I didn't hit it with my body. Instead, it would be nuclear energy. Converged on the high-pressure oil cannon on the roof. A high-pressure fuel column mixed with nuclear radiation. Sprayed on the Griffin Lord's body with accuracy. Immediately afterwards, an incendiary bomb was fired. The Griffin Lord instantly turned into a giant fireball. The already flammable aviation fuel was ignited, plus the high temperature of nuclear energy. His metal feathers began to melt. He screamed and wanted to take off. Messed with me. You still want to run. Metal storm. Concentrate fire on the roots of the wings. Our barrels instantly turn around. All the firepower converges into a point. The left wing root of the Griffin Lord was sawn off by thousands of bullets. The huge body is out of balance. It smashed down like a meteorite and he fell heavily on the highway. It landed right in front of the mining cart. I drove directly in the Fortress Tyrant. Run over the flaming Griffin Lord. The sky within a radius of 5 kilometers was cleared. No bird dares to fly over this area again. Finally, at midnight, we arrived at the Convention and Exhibition Center. The terrain here is open. There's a strong wall around it. And the main body of the building is a huge steel structure pavilion, perfect for transforming into a fortress. And most importantly, the underground parking lot here is extremely large, enough to accommodate this huge mining truck. I parked my car in the middle of the square of the Convention and Exhibition Center. Several cars behind him also stopped. Everyone opens the door. His legs went down weakly. They looked at that one. The mining card still emits a faint blue light. There was nothing but awe in his eyes. There are no other emotions left. I jumped out of the fortress control room, a can of beer in his hand. I pointed to the huge pavilion. Zusu, you take someone to check the backup generator set. If there is a bad one, fix it. The doctor went to collect medical supplies in the museum. Establish isolation zones. Others circled the car. Establish a cordon line. After saying that, I climbed onto the roof of the mining truck alone. I sat next to the huge turret. Pull open the beer tab. Raise your head and take a sip of cold beer. I overlooked this dark, ruined city. The fire was in the sky. The screams could be faintly heard at my feet. It is an invincible fortress, and a group of followers who have started to give up on me. I looked at the white fish belly gradually emerging from the east tower. A glimmer of light flashed in his eyes. Let the city know next. Who is the new owner here?